Hi, I'm Pat. All right, in this type of problem, they've given us this equation and they've told us it's an identity. Okay, and what that means then is that this is true. This is a true statement. But our job is to verify that identity. Okay, so what we want to make sure we can convince someone of is that, like in this case, the left-hand side truly is equal to the right-hand side. Okay, and these are actually fun problems because what it puts you to the test on is being able to manipulate the expressions using your knowledge of trigonometry and also some algebra sometimes. Okay, so now in this case, I am going to try to get this left-hand side to look just like the right-hand side. Okay, a little bit of a strategy is you usually try to tackle the more involved side. Okay, so whichever one looks like there's more going on, it actually gives you more to work with. Okay, so it's a good thing. Now, if I'm going to attack this left-hand side, what can I do? Well, I do have a cotangent squared of t. And so you notice I've already written something down off to the side here. One of our reciprocal identities, cotangent of x always equals 1 over tangent of x. And this is part of what I meant by some of the trigonometry knowledge you have comes into play here, because if you know this fact, which we do, that allows me to substitute for this cotangent of t right there. And so this is the work that I end up doing is, again, I'm going to start on this left-hand side, and I'm going to replace that cotangent of t that I underlined there, which means everything else stays the same. So my tangent of t is still there. It's still multiplication, which would have been the operation there. But now, instead of writing cotangent of t squared, I'm going to write 1 over tangent of t, and that is still squared. The squaring comes from the fact that the cotangent was squared in the step above, but the expression that I've written on the inside of the parentheses comes from my reciprocal identity over there. Okay? All right, and I said everything else stays the same, so I still have equals, and I still have cotangent of t on the right-hand side. And you don't need to do this, but I usually even write a little bit of a question mark above that equal sign for myself, because again, the goal for us in this type of problem is to convince someone that that left-hand side does truly equal the right-hand side. So let's get a good answer to that question mark. Let's say, yes, it's true. Well, how am I going to do that now? I also mentioned that you need some algebra skills, right? So now if you notice, we've got tangent of t being multiplied by 1 over tangent of t squared. So one of those factors of tangent of t is going to cross out. Okay, so you can imagine this tan crossing out with one of them. And what's left? Just 1 over tangent of t. And I'm still questioning whether that equals cotangent of t. But at this point, I think you can see the answer to this, right? There's 1 over tan t, which is just that reciprocal identity again, except flipped upside down. So this is cotangent of t. And does that equal cotangent of t? Now I'll replace my question mark with a check mark, okay? Hope that helps for this problem, but for any of them, use similar strategies and similar thoughts, okay? Use your trig knowledge and your algebra knowledge. Try some on your own.